on my feet. Put y'all over me. Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see. Prada on my feet. Put y'all over me. Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see.
Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Monday, the 8th of September is here, and we are inching, and I literally mean inching towards, of course, the start of the Premier League season. Of course, 3 games have been played and more to come, more to go before, ironically enough, another international break kicks in. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, today I thought we're gonna try and discuss this simple topic. This very simple, very basic topic. Will Arsenal improve after the break? Will we see improved Arsenal after the break? Will Eze start? Will Odegaard start? Where will Eze start? How Arsenal are gonna shape up while Saliba is out, and more and more and more and more. Big questions for Arteta, big questions to be asked, big questions to be answered. Let's be real. So we're gonna try and talk about this today. So people, if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. We are inching towards the big 1K, slowly but steadily. We are at 916 subscribers right now. And of course, don't forget to leave your thoughts down in the live chat. And if you want, you can also come on the channel. Just shout me on WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram DMs. You can come on easily. No questions asked. I have no problem with that. Sorry, the more the merrier. And just before we get into things, Israel have scored against Italy. 1-0 Israel, by the way, people. Big up Canon Gunner. Are you trolling with that question? Will Arsenal improve after the break? Come on. At birthday gathering. Oh, good. Enjoy the birthday gathering. Enjoy the birthday gathering. Camden, no obligation to be here. Enjoy, chill, relax. Have a nice time whilst Arsenal is not playing. Let's just put it that way. Big up Nems. Big up Nems. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, my brother. And go subscribe to Nems as well. Just open the channel. Posting videos surely but steadily. Go show him some love, people. Go show him some love. Big up Hyper Antagonist. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Big up AJ. No, we won't. 2-1 Forest incoming. Damn, that's a bold-ass prediction. And if I ever seen one. 2-1. Obviously, last year when we played Forest at home, it came at the most opportunistic time, arguably. I'm not going to lie, because it was straight after international break, and we beat them 3-0. It was arguably very easy. I'm not going to lie. It was quite easy, to say the least. Will that happen again? Will we see the repeat of that? Obviously, you could argue Forest have gotten weaker, Arsenal have gotten stronger. So definitely there are some questions in those terms. Big up abs, big up Waffle Don. Simple answer is no. We are rarely good after the break. True. That is also something you cannot obviously deny, because most of the teams, especially the big teams where most of the players, you could argue, go on to international break, do not tend to do that good after the break. Let's be real. Usually we suffer, and looking at the teams we have to play after international break before the next international break, especially with Saka and Saliba out, it is definitely very, very, very worrisome. Let's just put it that way, to say the least, because we're going to look at Arsenal's schedule in a second before the next international break. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's not looking too good. It definitely is not looking too good. Here is Abs's link, Waffle Down's League. People, go show him some love, go subscribe. There's a lot of pressure on the new signings. Well, 100%. 100%. A lot of pressure on the new signings, a lot of pressure on... To be honest, I would argue there's a lot of pressure on everyone. If you believe the rumors about Josh talking to Mikel one-on-one, yeah, I would argue there is an immense amount of pressure on everyone. But if we talk about the new signings, more specifically, I would argue it's on Eze, I'm not going to lie, Madueke, Mosquera, and also I would argue Hincapié, because he will start to step into some big roles, because our defensive rotation at the moment is a bit messed up. It's going to be definitely a tough one to answer, a tough one to look at. It will definitely be a very interesting one, how Arteta basically rotates the players, how he envisions the things, how envisions the team. So let's see how that goes. Let's definitely see how that goes. So yeah, people, it's gonna be an interesting one. Big up Andrew. Big up Andrew. Hope you're doing well. Don't think anyone can answer these questions. Obviously, no, but we can only speculate. Let's be real. And that's what, to be honest, being an Arsenal fan or football fan in general, mostly it's about opinions and speculation because nothing is confirmed, nothing is set in stone. We can just basically give our opinions, put basically the facts on the table, and make the best sense of it. Let's just put it that way. We come out and look clueless versus the likes of West Ham, Bournemouth, Everton, Fulham, but then again can smoke up the bigger teams. Yeah, and that is the nuts part, and that is the worrying part as well, to be honest. It's impossible to predict Arteta. Like, that is true. Unless we talk about the starting 11 to some extent, because we all know that Mikel Arteta likes to play with the same starting 11 most of the time, consistently as well. So we will see how that is gonna go. Definitely, we'll see how that is gonna go. Obviously, his golden child Bukayo Saka is out, which means Madueke is gonna start. Will be interesting to see how he resolves the Saliba situation. Most likely, it's gonna be Mosquera. Now, with Odegaard obviously playing for Norway in all ways, shapes, and forms, I would also believe that obviously Odegaard is going to start, and we will see Eze at the left wing. That is something personally I don't want to see. I'm not going to lie. At the same time, even if we start Eze at the 10, it means Vanjeri or someone has to play left wing. And for me, that is the big thing. For me personally, in ideal scenario, which is not perfectly ideal, I'm not going to lie, but I would love to see, for example, the front four, right? Of Gyökeres as a number 9. Obviously, Saka is out, so Madueke on the right. Eze in the left wing, by the way, and Vanjeri starting in the 10. Because there's no other way, because if Eze starts in the 10, it means, in Mikel Arteta's eyes at least, that obviously Martinelli or Trossard must be in the left wing, which is it's quite worrisome. People, here is Nemz's link as well. Go show him some love, people. Go drop a sub, just start the channel, people. Big up to him, big up the legend that is Nems. 8 likes, people. We are already smashing it. Big up to you. If we can push it up to 10 and then to 20 ASAP, I would be forever most grateful, people. Big up the stream, big up like the stream, people, and subscribe if you haven't already. But speaking of which, as I said, we will talk about the schedule. Let's get into this, because this is the big one. This is the big one. Straight after international break, obviously, we play against Nottingham Forest. September 13th, which is exactly in 5 days, we are playing against Nottingham Forest, which on paper should be an easy game. Because, yes, we have a lot of players starting in their international games. Merino scored a hat-trick last night, by the way. Eze, Madueke, Rice, Kelly, all of them have gone to international duty. They're playing their games and everything more and more and more. At the same time, if our depth is as good as people want us to make us believe, basically, or as Top Gunners are trying to make us believe, let's just put it that way, it should be no-brainer, shouldn't it? But at the same time, we have already 6-7 injuries, which means about core of the squad is already out, which is quite nuts to think about when you look at it in the perspective of that only 3 game weeks have passed, and we already have nearly a core of the squad out with injuries. And it's not like it's 1-2 game injuries. It's literally like a month, 2 months, or even longer if we talk about Jesus, Havertz, and those men. Obviously, there's speculation that Saliba might be back before September 28th, basically for Newcastle away. And I also wouldn't be surprised if Arteta rushes him back. Also, you could argue that the biggest issue for Arsenal against Newcastle is to score goals. At the same time, we are struggling even defensively against them. Yes, they have lost Isak, for example. At the same time, scoring goals, it's going to be an issue because sometimes we cannot even create. We had 1 shot on target. Or, no, we have had 3 shots on target, I think, against Newcastle in the last 3 games away at St. James's, which is already a big of a worry for me personally. But yeah, Arsenal play Nottingham Forest. Then we travel to Spain to play Bilbao, which is not a far trip. Let's be real. It's a very easy, very short trip, to be honest, which will be, I would argue, a stinkfest to some extent. Then we obviously play Man City at home, which I believe is going to be a very, very tough game. Yes, City are not the City we used to know. At the same time, Arsenal as well are not the same we used to know. Both teams have started slowly. The thing is, I would arguably give Man City psychological edge in this game. And what I mean by that is basically basing it on the result of last season. Because we beat them 5-1 at the Emirates, annihilated them, right? Which again means that they will want to get, well, one over us. Let's be real. There's no argument about that. It's going to be rough. It definitely is going to be rough. And I kind of don't see it being another 5-1. Let's just put it that way. Afterwards, obviously, we travel to Port Vale, which should be a win no matter what. If we lose that game, by the way, if we lose the game against Port Vale, Arteta should be sacked and left in Port Vale. Already telling you that much. Because there's no excuses to lose that kind of a game with the caliber of the team that we possess and we have at our disposal. At the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I am one of those people who loves a good underdog story. Basically, smaller team beating a bigger team. Hence, Plymouth beating Liverpool last year, Grimsby beating United this year. At the same time, I don't want that to happen as well at the expense of Arsenal. I'm not going to lie. Afterwards, of course, we travel to St. James's. Then we have Olympiacos at home, which seems to be which should be an easy enough game. West Ham at home, which is a big worry for me personally, because we haven't beaten West Ham 2 years in a row at home, which definitely is going to be a tricky fixture. No matter how somehow West Ham have made Emirates in the last 2 seasons their playground. No matter how. Despite the fact that we annihilate them at the London Stadium, like 5-2 on all these results, still they managed to get one over at the Emirates, which I hope is not the case this season, of course. Then we head into the next international break, obviously, so we're not going to go further than that. But these are the 7 games we are facing. Forest at home, Bilbao away, City at home, Port Vale away, Newcastle away, Olympiacos at home, and West Ham at home, of course. So that will be a very interesting dynamic. It will be very interesting to see how that is going to happen and how is that going to go. But definitely there are very big questions to be answered. I would like Eze in the 10. I would as well. But that means obviously that Martinelli or Trossard are going to be the left wings. If we want to kind of try and squeeze them out of the team, if we put it that way, for me personally, Eze could be starting on the left wing, but that means Odegaard is going to be in the 10. And for me personally, Odegaard shouldn't be starting in the 10. I would start Vangieri or Dauman in the 10. Dauman played under 19s against Spain this international break, and they had to foul him 10 times in the first half or something weird like that. And he also won a penalty. So Max Dauman definitely is already showing up the players basically from La Masia and places like that, which is a big statement. I definitely believe we have something special on his hands. The biggest worry for me personally regarding that is we have Mikel Arteta at the wheel, which means there's a big possibility he might actually stifle his development, which I don't want to see whatsoever. Because you can put in a very strong argument that if, let's just say, Flick or Luis Enrique or someone like that was in charge, those players would be starting. This isn't publicly known. Luis Skelly did a preseason warm-up in Portugal. Yes, with the women's team. Yes. I with Cooney Cross and other players. I fully believe that's why he has lost left-back spot to Calafiori. I can see the reasoning behind this. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely can see the reasoning behind this. At the same time, looking at how Calafiori is 45 million player, which means he most likely, if he doesn't get injured, he would have been playing most of the games anyways for Arsenal, which means Luis Skelly would have never gotten a chance. Basically, Arteta's back was against the wall at the time during the season, which again, at the end of the day, led to the fact that Skelly should have started. And nobody expected Skelly to be who he was last season, let's be real. And now that Calafiori is fully fit, it looks like he's fully fit. He played for Italy. He had a great game. Obviously, Italy right now are playing against Israel, and they are losing 1-0, ironically enough. Of course, Calafiori is not starting. He's on the bench. But ultimately, I think the overall main plan at any given time was basically for Calafiori to start and Skelly potentially, if it applies, for him to be the backup. Let's just put it that way. Let's just say it as it is. Sorry. Yeah, and I think Arteta just lucked out, just like he did with Ranieri and Ben White and all these players. So, obviously, questions to be answered. Definitely questions to be answered. Watch Mikel Merino start in the number 9 post hat trick, dude. If that happens, like, to some extent, it also raises some random question, right, for you all. Random, very random question. Right? We have seen Merino as a midfielder and as a striker for Arsenal, right? You could make a very strong and very valid argument that he's better at a striker position for Arsenal than he is at midfield, because for Spain in the midfield, he's better because he has better players around him and the international football is different. At the same time, cannot help but wonder, could Merino be an unlocked potential striker who could be a late bloomer? Like, I don't know. It's a weird conspiracy thought I have in my head, but there's definitely something to it because he scored 6 or 7 goals last year at striker and gave also decent amount of assists. He stepped in for Havertz very, very comfortably. So in a position where he has never played in his life, pretty much. So that is also a big question. The injuries, Arteta overplaying the players. Oh, 100%. 100%, no shadow of a doubt. Arteta won't risk it. Martinelli, Odegaard, Madueke, Gyökeres, although I wouldn't be surprised if Eze on the left and Merino is supposed to be 10. Well, if Odegaard plays for Norway, I think he will start. Let's be real. I definitely believe he will start. So against Forest, I would expect also Odegaard to start. Let's be real. We'll see what this Mank is all about. If is all about, yeah. They play Man U, so it should speak volumes. Who are we talking about here? Sesko or what? Big up most wanted. Big up most wanted. I will only accept a dub in all games played before the next international break. Anything else is a loss for me. And I can see that. 100% I can see that. Forest should be a win. Bilbao away should be a win. Man City at home should be a win. Port Vale goes without saying. Olympiacos at home should be a win. Newcastle away is the biggest question mark for me because I'm genuinely, despite having Gyökeres, I'm terrified to going there. Because yes, they have lost Isak and we have gone Gyökeres. Despite that, Arteta has no clue how to use Gyökeres still. And we all know that Eddie Howe will find a way how to use Wissa, Voltemade, and Elanga and everyone else. So that for me is the biggest question. I more trust Eddie Howe to figure out how to use the players he has signed than Mikel Arteta how to use actually Victor Gyökeres as quickly as possible. And of course, West Ham at home should be a win because if we don't win that, that is embarrassing. 3 years in a row. I really wish there was less international breaks. The fixtures make it even more insufferable. True, but hey, it's all about the money, isn't it? Big up Hendon. Big up Hendon. Hope you're doing well. Hope the birthday party celebrations are going well. Hope you're feeling good. So enjoy it while Arsenal are not playing, as they will be inside left wing for us. I think there is something to it. As a starting left wing, and we have inverted left wing. Let's just put it that way. Imagine Arsenal having an inverted left wing that inverts into a 10 with maybe Calafiori overlapping. I can see something like that happening with Arsenal 100%. Sadly, 2-0 for us, dude. Also, big up Hendon Nems. Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Big up to you all. Big up everyone who is being here during this international break. Mikel Merino is far better in the 9 for us. Oh, without shadow of a doubt. Without shadow of a doubt. Next, I would still look at Rodrigo Barcola. Yes. Still, despite everything, I still believe we need a left winger, ASAP, without shadow of a doubt. I don't think we're going to get one in January, though. I strongly believe we are not getting a striker in January, which is a big worry. Let's just say it as it is. At the same time, it all could be over by January as well, looking at the current situation and how we are looking with the injuries we've had. But that is not an excuse, because Mikel Arteta has been given all the tools, all the money, all the keys to do everything he needs to do to get the job, well, bloody hell done, and he still hasn't. I meant Man City. Yes. They Man City, Man U on the weekend, so we might have a broader picture of upcoming City game potentially. Well, 100% potentially we will definitely have. Next season, I would still look at Rodrigo or Barkley. Oh yeah. For next season, still we need a left wing, and I would look for some of the best ones still available on the market. Why not go 4-4-2 with Gyökeres and Merino up front together? I don't know, but for me personally, if we, let's just say, play Gyökeres up top and we play 4-4-2, for me personally, we need someone agile, technical, and forward-thinking as the secondary striker. Remember how we last year played against PSG, sort of a shape in 4-4-2 with Havertz and Trossard in up top, like 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 type of situation going on there, and it was working very well. I think two tall trees, let's just say it as it is, two lampposts up top is not going to cut it. I think the mix of having one big player with finishing touch like Gyökeres and maybe having someone like, I don't know, don't want to say Madueke, but Martinelli. Madueke is someone like that up top. Definitely could potentially do the trick. For me, we play better in Champions League. Well, it's easier to play for us in Champions League. Saying that, if we lose, then it's going to be very peakums. Never mind next season, left wing in January. If we are a race where it feels unlikely now, but get a left wing. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I really, really hope, and I'm putting a lot of money on this, by the way, that with Andrea Berta coming in, right, our January business is also become more sustainable, more threatening, let's just put it that way, and much, much more influential in terms of the team, in terms of the squad recruitment, and in general. Because our January business most of the time is literally non-existent, let's be real. And with Andrea Berta coming in, I hope that is going to change. Now, will Arsenal be willing to spend, let's just say, 100 million on a left winger in January? That is a completely different debate. And I just kind of don't see it happening, unfortunately. That, for me, is the nuts part. That definitely, for me, is the nuts part in this. Okay, then 4-4-2 with Gyökeres, Trossard. Yeah, I can see that. It's 4-4-2 with Gyökeres and Trossard, 100% I can see that. That actually would be also a very interesting dynamic, let's just say, to explore and see on the pitch, to say the least. So definitely time only will tell. I want Gabriel trade for Lookman. Trades are not about to happen. In this football day and age, trades are a lost art form, and it's not going to happen because looking at the FFP PSR crap that it's getting put on the teams want money. So trade deals, unless you basically agree a deal that goes both ways separately, just so the other team has some actual, just say, profit, I don't think they're going to happen. Chloe Kelly is better than Martinelli. Well, cannot argue that. I'm not going to lie. 4-4-2 would mean Zubmendi and Rice in the center, Madueke, Martinelli on the flanks. Will it work with Arteta's obsession with inverted introverts? No, it won't. That is the nuts part, and that is the sad part. It won't. And let's just say for Norway, for example, sometimes Odegaard plays right wing, by the way. So don't be surprised if we somehow see a 4-4-2. Odegaard plays outright and he inverts into midfield. I can see that happening as well to some extent, which again would be a big worry because Arteta, one thing that I really wish Arteta would get rid of, oh, sorry, my camera just doing a meza here, is get away from the inverted crap. I want him to have proper squad management and get rid of the inverted crap, 100%, because that inverted crap is doing us more harm than good in terms of everything. I just put it that way. Of course, she's arguably better than Saka. I think she's better than... Yeah, that definitely not. Nah, Saka is better than Chloe Kelly. That definitely, you cannot put that out there. Sorry, AJ, but I'm definitely disagreeing with that 100%. Anyways, what else is happening in football? Well, let's just put it this way. Cesco FC is losing to Switzerland 3-0, which is quite interesting. I'm not going to lie. Cesco FC is losing 3-0. Kosovo is beating Sweden 1-0. Israel is beating Italy 1-0. Denmark is beating Greece 1-0. Croatia is beating Montenegro 1-0. And that's about it. But yeah, definitely that's about it. Play a basic formation, forget this inverted crap. The team will click. And that for me is the biggest thing about Arsenal. This team is built for attacking by default, in my opinion, right? I can see about 4 or 5 different formations that would work for Arsenal, starting from 4-4-2, 4-1-2-1-2 diamond, 4-2-2-2, 3 at the back, and 5 at the back. That could work for Arsenal. Ironically enough, again, the only success Arteta has had at Arsenal is also playing 5 at the back, which is even more insane if you come to think of it, that Arteta has not utilized this formation ever since. Ever since winning the FA Cup, we have not seen 5 at the back whatsoever, which is very weird to me. It's also very confusing in those terms. Why he has basically turned away from things that actually has worked for him. At the same time, we also saw in 22-23 season a style of football that works. And again, he has completely turned his back against that style of football, which again is very, very weird and very, very confusing for me personally, because it makes, again, no sense for me whatsoever. Literally makes no sense for me. Then January 1st, sell Gabriel Martinelli and buy either Mitoma or Lookman. I can see that. Madueke is better than Martinelli and Trossard. Technical ability-wise, yes, I will agree with that. Finishing-wise, I will disagree quite heavily on that. One of the biggest issues with Madueke for me is the fact that his finishing end product is not there. I would strongly argue that Leandro Trossard's finishing ability is better than Madueke's. And to be honest, even last year, I was talking about this on stream that Leandro Trossard is the most clinical finisher we have in the team. I would definitely argue that. I respect you guys, but why Saka is under Arteta bullshit? I will stand. I stand by my opinion, but Chloe Cole is better than because she actually been improved by René Slagers. Yeah, but that is on Arteta, and that is on René Slagers. Overall, I think definitely Saka is better. The fact that Mikel Arteta has ruined Saka, gameplay-wise, that is a completely different story, because we all know that Saka can't take on his man consistently one-on-one. He can dribble in between 3-4 defenders. We saw this at the early stages before Arteta got his plague over this team. Let's just put it that way. So I would definitely argue that Saka still is better. It's just the fact that Mikel Arteta doesn't take the shackles off. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Arteta definitely is turning basic formations, simplest things, into such mystery that you have to solve world hunger, and it becomes basically a nuclear physics. Kosovo, 2-0 against Sweden. Hey, yo, what is Sweden doing here? Elanga, Gyökeres, Benhana, Larson, Ayari, Johnson, Svensson, Gudmundsson, Hein, Egdal. Why is Egdal at center back and Olsen? Olsen is still their main center back. Goalkeeper. That is one of their biggest issues, because since Isaksson, I generally believe that Sweden has had a proper goalkeeper, which is a big worry. Italy is 1-1. Moise Kean has scored, which is from Retzegi's assist, interestingly enough. So, yeah, it's very, very weird. Let's just put it that way. Very, 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 very weird. Let me just do this. But yeah, we'll see. However, if Saka was under René Slagers, he would be so close. Now, that is the case. This is more on the manager than the player himself as well, to some extent. Did Sweden call up Isak for this break? I'm very inclined to say no. No, they didn't. Nope, they didn't call. No, they did. Isak is holding bench. Sorry. Isak is holding bench for the second game straight. Isak is holding bench for the second game straight. Saka and Smith Rowe saved Arteta's job. Yeah, they did in 21-22 season. They saved him heavily. And how did Arteta repay him? By basically ruining Saka and selling ESR. The problem with the inverted system is, at least when it comes to Tera, it makes us imbalanced. At least he made us look so. And even without the inverted stuff, we can quite openly see that our midfield in general is very imbalanced. Even when they put out the starting 11s, you can see and feel that our midfield is imbalanced. Like Rice and Zubimendi, they should arguably be switched around. Rice in the 6, Zubimendi in the 8, even, you could argue. Odegaard as well in the 10 is not it. I much rather see Eberechieze there or Banjeri there. I think definitely those two would do a better job in the 10 that Martin Odegaard is doing. When it was 22-23, Zinchenko, Xhaka, Martinelli, it clicked, yeah, because no one expected us to do so well. Well, that's obviously, yeah. Xhaka got really free roaming role in the team, and his passing was fire, yes. And also the fact that we were overlapping Martinelli with Xhaka, which pulled away the defender, which left Martinelli on one-on-one. In one-on-one situations, in open space, in the let's just say, for the sake of argument, more middle part of the pitch, Martinelli is much more dangerous. And third, Jesus also played much more fluid, yeah, playing left wing, right center. Eventually, we still got found out. Yeah, obviously, we got found out. Definitely, what's its face? Sporting Lisbon with Amorim and Newcastle with Eddie Howe showed how to beat us. And we got found out, obviously. At the same time, you cannot argue or discredit in those terms what Mikel Arteta did. He actually had a decent plan. It's just the fact that he did not have backup plan, how to basically counter that and how to react when it gets figured out, which is the biggest issue in all of this. Few questions. Bigger Prime. What are the chances Saka and Saliba leaves in 2 years? I would say Saliba leaving is much more realistic than Saka, right? At the same time, if Arteta goes, let's just say during this season or after this season, I would argue there is a bigger chance that they re-sign. They might re-sign during this season. let's not forget that. But there is a possibility that if this manager goes, there's a bigger chance of them re-signing, 100%. And who would be good replacements? Oh, bloody hell. For Saliba, I would argue someone like Bastoni, Murillo from Nottingham Forest, I would argue. For Saka specifically, I would say Desiree Doué, Barcola on the right wing as well. Quite slim pickings in those terms, I'm not gonna lie. Odegaard is playing more like an 8. I would play Eze as the 10 and put Odegaard on the left. On Odegaard on the left wing. I haven't seen Odegaard on the left wing, to be honest. I have seen him on the right wing because he has played on the right wing for Sociedad and for Norway. I have seen him more on the right wing. I haven't seen the dynamic of Odegaard playing left wing, which is also would be interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie. Say we won at 22-23 that Denu, what? Because Arteta are asking that question, trying to use that to defend him. Wait, what? Say we won that in 22-23 season Premier League, right? Then what? Then what? Because Arteta are asking that question, trying to use that defending. He didn't win. What's the point? So basically, that's like saying, what if I didn't break up with a girlfriend I had in high school? What if? What if COVID never came? What if I had a better job? Like, come on, man. Saka is not a right wing. Half of his energy is spent tracking back like he's a right back. That's again on the manager, though. We defend so much, forget to attack, and that is a massive problem, 100%. Still 100% that is an issue. That definitely is an issue. Saliba, I don't know exactly. For me, it was Forest and Brighton was the moments when I knew he got found out. Well, to be honest, Arsenal were mostly flying, but against Lisbon, we got found out in Europa League. And then obviously that game at Emirates against Newcastle, where for the first 10, 15 minutes, Eddie Howe went toe to toe with him. We said, let's just battle it out. And we had about 4 or 5 chances we didn't score from, and instantly, bang. Eddie Howe switched to 4-5-1, which turned into 5-4-1 during the game as well. And Arsenal did nothing. Mid-low blocks, and Arsenal were disappeared pretty much instantly. Soccer replacement is Olisias for Sliba went up Soba from Bayer Leverkusen. I would say Bastoni, and Olise is set apparently. Liverpool see Olise as a long-term replacement for Salah. It will be very interesting to see whether he goes to Liverpool or not, but apparently they see him in a very, 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 very strong interest in replacement. Yeah, Olise is called, and I'm still pissed off. We much rather spend 45 million on cauliflower in Calafiori, the Italian zucchini, than actually sign Olise last summer. Odegaard left wing, Arteta would never. Exactly. Italy is still as bad as the last 8 years. Well, Italy won the Euros, to be honest. Like, when was it? 5 years ago. But it is what it is, yeah, to be honest, I guess. Italy won the Euros, exactly, yeah. Big up Oaxaca, big up Oaxaca, big up Beggy. Right now, at this moment, Saliba can go. The guy looks like he does not want to be here, and it's all because of Arteta. And that is the biggest thing. I was talking about this with Waffledon, with Tabs on the stream, I think few days ago. I think about like 4 or 5 days ago. And I basically put it out that if Berta comes in, let's just say November, right? Not March, or sorry, February, but November, Tierney stays. And I think that was a point we agreed upon. And I strongly believe that as well, like, for example, Andrea Berta is using a bargaining chip when re-signing new deals, let's just say for Vangieri and players like that, by telling them that Mikel Arteta is not going to be here for much longer. Because with Eze signing, I literally don't see how Vangieri is going to get more minutes than last year, right? You could definitely put a strong argument for that. So the only reason why Vangieri would sign off to a new deal to some extent is the fact that Andrea Berta has told him that if this goes tits up real quick in this season, specifically this season, Arteta is gone and you will get your freedom. Because looking at the talent we have up front, there is no reason why Vangieri shouldn't start, why Max Dauman shouldn't get more minutes. Because those two players alone are better than Martinelli and Trossard combined, arguably. Even you can also include Madueke in that argument, 100%. Big up Oaxaca. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Here's Oaxaca's channel, people. Go show him some love. I stand by this. Trade Saliba for Rodrigo, then buy Mark Gehi from Crystal Palace because Saliba head is definitely gone. I can see that argument. Definitely can see that argument. The thing is, I think Mark Gehi has his sights set for Liverpool. Liverpool are going to sign him either in January on a free because his contract's about to expire and they might approach him unless Arsenal basically steal the show, or next summer for free he's signing for them. And then we have to replace Saliba. And to be honest, as I said, I wouldn't be against Arsenal just going all in for Bastoni or someone like that. Big up Rasta Stocks. Big up Rasta Stocks. Resident United fan in the chat. Man, I'm in the chat. Bless up. And yeah, so big up to you. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope work is treating you well too. Go show him some love, people. Go drop a sub to him. I feel like this is the start of the end. I don't know why. I'm excited for it. What managers you think we have lined up as a manager? This is the big one. And this is the biggest question mark everyone wants to know answers for. Because as an Arsenal fan, as a football fan, I have my list who I would love to see as the manager. You, Ryan, as well. 100% have a list who you want as a manager. Andrew, AJ, Nems, Hendon, anyone who's in the chat, they have their list who they would want as the next manager after Mikel Arteta, right? The big question is in all of this, who does Andrea Berta have on his list as the manager? That for me is the biggest question mark, because there's a very big part of Arsenal's future riding on this right now. Who Andrea Berta has on his list as Arsenal's next manager? Because I strongly believe that Andrea Berta, the list for the managers already has been prepared, already is there, and he's just waiting for the opportunistic time to take that list and go to Josh and Lewis and Richard Garlick. I think he is just waiting for the right time, personally. Who is on that list? I have no idea, but I would imagine, knowing how he does business and how he actually has managed to do business just a few months into the club, I think there will be some, I would say, some big names. I genuinely would argue. Personally, for me, I would take Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick in a heartbeat like that. Will Arsenal pay them out of their contract? That's a different story, of course. I kind of want Arteta to lose the likes of Forest and Port Vale. That would actually take the rest of the watching AFC until that fraud gets the sack. It will be COVID period for me. Like, that for me is the nuts part. As much as I want Arteta gone, I don't want to lose any single game, ironically enough. That is my nuts thing. At the same time, as weird as it may sound, and people will call me a plastic fan for this, if it means Arteta is gone in the next 2-3 games, I'm not against losing to Forest, to Port Vale, and Man City. Just putting it out there. But people will take this very wrongly. Big up Rasta, here is Rasta Stocks link as well. Saliba for Rodrigo for me, I can see that. Upamecano free agent. No. Upamecano doesn't cut it. He's too rash, and he's definitely not it. He is overrated in my opinion. Okay, then trade Saliba for Rodrigo, then buy Konsa from Aston Villa. Konsa is too injury prone, isn't he? For me, that is also a big question. Well, he could be displeased with Liverpool failing to sign him. True, but I think it was both ways. I think also Glasner and Crystal Palace didn't want to basically allow Gehi to leave until they find a proper replacement. I think Glasner as well said if they sell Gehi and they don't allow him to sign a proper replacement, he's walking. Instantly walking. So I think they tried to make the best of two worlds. Let's just put it that way. Big up Tyrell Gunner. Big up Tyrell Gunner TV, people. Go drop him a sub. Arsenal fan, up and coming as well, just like myself. Go drop him some love. Go drop him some subs, some likes, some comments, all that good stuff. I'm dead tired, bro. I will be fine. Good luck to you. Enjoy. Have a nap before, well, Pochettino football kicks in once again. Gyökeres the championship level. Big up Greenland. We'll see about that. You cannot judge Gyökeres because I will stand and die on this hill until I see Gyökeres under a different manager. Because I strongly believe that Mikel Arteta has literally less than zero idea how to use Gyökeres. Not happening. I'm on for 2 Bayern Munich fans. They're about to give up Meccano the highest deal for a center back in their history. Why? Why? Probably some Italians. Big up, Richard. Big up, Richard. For him, it's Luis Enrique, my brother. For me as well. Big up, Cooper. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Big up for you. Big up to you. Smash the likes, people, and subscribe if you haven't already. If we are not at, let's just say, 15 or 20 likes, why are you doing, people? Stop being frauds. Go watch him against Kosovo. Dude, just don't. I don't judge players by international games because the international games make players look better than they are. Prime example is Nico Williams. I would even argue Calafiori, to be honest, and everything. Here is Tyrell Gunner's channel, people. Go drop him a sub. Enrique should be the number one. I can say one thing: we will never be bored of his tactics, subs, and heart for the game. Oh, 100%. He has himself openly admitted that he wants to manage in Premier League. And I can also, I don't want to guarantee, but I can definitely would put a big money on this, that if he was our manager, we would see 10 times more game time for Wanjeri. Skelly would be playing in the midfield, and Max Daumann would be getting big minutes as well. Luis Enrique, big up Cooper as well. We are 3-0 down to Switzerland at halftime. Sweden 2-0 Kosovo. Yeah, I'm following the results. It's actually kind of nuts if you think about it. Judging by a player of one game, really? Come on, man. Call me rubber, plastic, toxic, wasted. Who cares? It's my opinion. Exactly, and everyone's own opinion. Exactly. In the end, although I can't say where Top Gunner's opinion comes from. Yeah, I get it. Luis Enrique or Hansi Flick, then in 3, honestly, René Slegas. Yeah, AJ is pushing for René Slegas heavily, I'm not gonna lie. Big up, people. 15 likes. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm so done with Arteta that I rate Dyche over the Spanish fraud. Not gonna lie. Kind of the same. If Luis Enrique had this squad, we would have won the league this season, no questions. Yeah, we would have won, at worst, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. In an ideal scenario, it would have been Premier League, Champions League. Because he knows how to get the job done. He knows how to develop youth. He knows how to recruit players properly. And he knows how to coach and manage players to get the best out of them in the best way possible. He is that guy. He is one of those managers who actually knows, who is the master of the craft. Let's just put it that way. And he knows how to get the job done and how to get it over the line. Hence why I would definitely advocate for that. That's why I'm advocating for Luis Enrique and even Hansi Flick to be an Arsenal manager 100%. Let me know. Let's see what's happening in the world of football. Facts. I want Arteta gone. I think Berta was brought in to replace that. I can see it 100%. For me already, I have stated this on multiple streams. I think Andrea Berta as well already has give me a sec. I think Berta already has a list of managers after Arteta, and I think Berta is waiting for the opportunistic time to take the list and go to Josh, to Richard, Tim Lewis and Richard Garlick. Just opportunistic time. He's just waiting for it. When basically shit hits the fan, we lose to Forest or we lose to Port Vale, he's going to be there instantly already knocking. If they say, let's give him, let's just say 2 more games, we lose to City or something, he's going to be knocking once again. And then for the second time, he's definitely not going to take no for an answer. Big up, Godfrey. Hope you're doing well. I'm good. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing great as well. Luis Enrique has was the treble at 2 different clubs, plus he would love to work in England. He's perfect. Exactly. And he knows how to develop youth, which is arguably one of the main things for us. Enrique has a better attacking IQ with recruiting players. Arteta's fetish is 15 goalkeepers, 25 defenders, 30 midfielders, and 1 striker. Yeah, basically. It's not just one game. He was crap against Slovenia and Liverpool. Bro, it's Arteta. I'm taking away international games aside, because Sweden is, with all fair to, with no disrespect to Stockholm Gunnar, who is in the channel many times, with any Swedish fans or anyone. Sweden is not the Sweden what it used to be, and he is not surrounded by the same quality of players he was surrounded at Sporting Lisbon, and he's not surrounded by the same quality players what he's surrounded with at Arsenal. Hence why I take that out of the equation. Now, if you look at Arsenal, it's been few games, first of all. Second of all, it's on Arteta, because this manager has never coached an out-and-out number 9 in his life. He has tried to make makeshift number 9s like Martinelli, who still should be a striker, Havertz, Jesus. He has had Golden Boot winning Aubameyang, who he played to make at left wing back. So this manager has also never coached a proper out-and-out number 9, even at Man City, because he was a backup. He was assistant. He wasn't even the main manager. So for me personally, this is on Arteta. Plus, whenever Gyökeres has played, Arteta hasn't supported him with proper service from wings and from the number 10 spot, without shadow of a doubt. So this is not on Gyökeres. This is on Mikel Arteta, without shadow of a doubt. Hansi Flick would not be good in Premier League. Enrique would do best overall. I would say Glasner, Cesc, Nagelsmann, and Inzaghi. Now, here it is. I would take Flick and I would take Enrique. We can agree to disagree. Now, the other managers, I would take Glasner without shadow of a doubt. I would take Inzaghi as well without shadow of a doubt. Now, we are not going to pay 22, 23 million for him since he just signed for Saudi. So he's kind of out of the equation for the next 2 years, you could argue. Nagelsmann, I am losing a bit of the hype because he is the Germany national team manager, and looking how much Germany is struggling at the moment, I have second thoughts. Now, Cesc Fabregas, I need him to win a major before he comes to Arsenal. I'm sick and tired of these wannabe managers, or these unproven managers. I need a manager who has won stuff, who has won cups, big tournaments, league, Champions League, Europa League, all these places. I need manager who has done it, who has been there, who has seen it, and who has gone over the line. I don't want another kindergarten graduate getting a CEO position and we just be patient. It's process. Give him time and all this stuff. Under this manager, I don't see any fight. If we 1-0 down, it's backward side. Yeah, it never changes. It never changes. When we're drawing, he wants to accept the draw, and park the bus. Or when we are even 1-0 up, we park the bus. Enough time to go in. Exactly. How can you say Hansi Flick wouldn't do again in the Prem? Gyökeres had only one game against Leeds, championship level like him. Oh, bloody hell. Agree to disagree at the end of the day. Yes, Sweden ain't what it used to be because Gyökeres or Isak aren't Ibrahimovic. Isak is also on the bench for Sweden. Has he come on at halftime? Nope, Isak hasn't even come on at halftime. But ultimately, Sweden are not the same. Olaf Mellberg, their Serbaks, oh fuck's sake! Now I'm gonna look like a moron because I forgot their name. Obviously, Larson and all these men, Isaacson in goal and all. I forgot, literally forgot the name. That's on me. That's literally on me. But yeah, they're not the same. And Sweden, they don't have the abilities as of now. Gyökeres made his own goals so far for Arsenal. The ball never gets to him. Exactly. The goals he has scored for Arsenal are penalty, and he made his own second goal when taking on defenders. He made his own. He took them on. He set them on their asses. The one time he actually got a semi-decent cross, he hit the post. That's not enough. For a type of a bagman and goal scorer Gyökeres is, he needs backup. He needs wings. He needs number 10. And Arteta is doing none of that. He doesn't know what to do with a striker. Okay, Gyökeres is shit. So what? What's your point? You think Hansi Flick wouldn't do in the Prem, but Cesc would. Like that, that's the nuts part. Big up, why not? Big up, why not? Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope you're doing well and hope you're healthy as well. Big up, Terry Tibbs. Big up, Terry Tibbs. Big up, big up, big up. Love the image, by the way. I love the profile picture. Big up, Terry. He's not attacking. I would still take him the heartbeat. Yeah. 92 goals in 2 seasons. Yeah, 100% Joe Boyd. I'm not with Fabregas joining Arsenal yet. Exactly. Not yet. I'm not against Cesc Fabregas joining long at some point. But at this stage, no chance. He needs to do something what Xabi Alonso did. Yes, he needs to win a league, Europa League, Champions. He needs to win stuff. Needs to win stuff. Yes, in Farmers League. So what are you saying? They are not good enough, right? At the same time, Porto and Benfica are some of the most successful clubs in Europe. And some of these farmers are the best farmers in the Europe at the end of the day. You want to tell me that one player defines everything? Oh, Nunez. Oh. But let's not forget, Bruno Fernandes, ultimately, he's a decent player. Whether you like him or not, he's actually a decent player. I would take him at Arsenal instead of Odegaard. Let's not forget R9, Jackson, Falcao, Di Maria, Casemiro, David Luiz, Pepe, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. If that is the Farmers League, bring me the crops. Literally bring me the crops at the end of the day. Conceição, let's not forget him. Pedro Gonçalves, let's not forget him. Pavlidis looks very good. Like, there are lots of them. How about Glasner or Nagelsmann? I would say Glasner, right? At the moment. For me, the thing about Nagelsmann is I want Nagelsmann at Arsenal. At the same time, looking at what he's doing with the German national team makes me have very strong second thoughts in that regard. Because they lost to Slovakia and it's not looking great. They barely scraped past Northern Ireland. Like, it's not great, is it? At the end of the day, it definitely is not great. Let's just put it that way. Hansi Flick at on the first. Yeah. Exactly. Elmander, Backstrom. Let me find this, what I'm talking about, because I think people are definitely are misplacing. Obviously, I'm not talking about Lumberg, Larson, Brolin, and players like that, right? Obviously, no, yeah, here we go. Ibrahimovic, Larson, Liedholm. Where is the defender? Nilsson, the left back. Yes. Brolin, of course. I mentioned what's its face? Isaacson. Here it is, the center back, the defender. Patrick Anderson. I think he was a center back. I might be mistaken. I might literally be mistaken. But I think he was a center back. Yeah, he was a center back. Patrick Anderson. He was good. Played for Barcelona, Mönchengladbach, and all these places. Like, Sweden used to have a very good team. Obviously, it's just now they are, well, ass. Italy losing 2-1 to Israel. Peretz scored. Peretz scored for Israel, by the way. He needs championship teams to score against. Yeah. Just like Anthony and all them, man. Arteta as well is championship level player in his life. Let's be real. But different play style in the Premier League. It's all Pep robotic ball. I would take him still. The thing is, if you look at the last teams that have won Premier League, besides Man City, are teams that don't play nowhere near the style of football Man City plays. Arsenal are the only ones who are trying to outplay Mr. Miyagi at his own game. They're trying to be the creator of the game at the end of the day. If you watch Yu-Gi-Oh, basically, you're trying to beat Pegasus. Obviously, Yugi beat him, but that's a different story with the puzzle and all this stuff. But you get what I mean. I remember Martin Dahlin. Yeah. Here you go. I checked Odgaard cut his hair at least. Now he can concentrate on football, not hair flicks. Maybe it will make stronger him on his feet. Let's be real. I just put it that way. Nah, I don't want company. I don't know. Something about company makes me a bit uneasy. I'm not gonna lie. As Porto fan, we are shit now. Benfica has gone backwards. Koktu, whose many ratings has gone, and Besiktas even sport. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about overall. You know, Benfica, the Porto under Mourinho and all this stuff. I'm talking about overall history. Still, despite whether you like it or not, Porto, Benfica are one of the biggest teams in Europe, despite everything. Yeah, 17 likes, people. Big up to you all. If you haven't already, smash the likes and subscribe. Glasner has done great audition for any club with what his son, what he has done in Palace. One place, if I was Glasner, I would not go is Man United. Because if you go to Man United, you are done. That is the only place. Remember? Yeah, exactly. Glasner has won Europa League with Frankfurt as well. I would argue he has very strong arguments put into for him to win also Conference League with Palace. I would even argue that to some extent. Like, Glasner has won Austrian League, Europa League. He has won, obviously, FA Cup, obviously Community Shield, but we don't count those. Let's not kid ourselves. He has won. What has Glasner won? Let's look at this. Europa League, FA Cup, Austrian second league. He got them promoted. Yeah, I remember. He promoted them. He has done very, very decently. I'm not gonna lie. He promoted Lusk and everything. as well. Let's be real. Glasner started as assistant sports coordinator at Salzburg. Then he was assistant manager at Salzburg. Then he was manager of SV Ried, director of football at Lask, manager at Lask, manager at Wolfsburg, manager at Frankfurt, and manager at Crystal Palace. So he is learning his craft from downwards up. Italy is another nation that's declined, quite heavily. Yeah. Italy is not the same what it used to be. Although Italy has scored, it's 2-2. Moise Kean scored again from Rezegui's assist, it's 2-2. Italy has declined because the generational change that happens for every nation, let's be real, at some point, hasn't gone the way they planned. Let's just put it that way. And the manager as well is not. He's also, I think, obviously Gattuso right now. We'll see what he does, but before that, it's a bit 50-50. If he wanted the owners to leave, bring in Ten Hag, bro. If Glasner wins Conference League with Crystal Palace, he's gone next summer. 100%. If he wins, yes. You know we are bad when Kivior is our best center back. Pepe retired? I would still say Pepe is better. Pepe in 37 Pagan at Arsenal, like no tomorrow for Porto. I'm not worried about the Community Shield. Exactly. He won, but it's who he won against exactly. With the team he has, Glasner is very favorable on my list. Exactly. Like for Glasner to win FA Cup against Man City, to win Community Shield against Liverpool, right? It's definitely very, 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 very telling how good he can get it out of the team. Let's just put it that way. He also obviously won the Europa League against Eintracht Frankfurt in 2021-22. In 2021-22 season, he beat Rangers, ironically enough, on penalties 5-4. It was an interesting one. Wait. I want to see, who did they beat in the way? Who did Eintracht Frankfurt beat? Who did Eintracht Frankfurt beat in Europa League in 2021-22 season, right? 2021-22 season. Let's look at how Eintracht Frankfurt, who they beat in 2021-22 season. Anyone interested in who Glasner beat in that season? Because I'm actually hella interested, because this could be a very interesting watch, because I remember they beat Barcelona. They beat Barcelona that season in Europa League. That was at the time when still Europa League, Champions League teams dropped into Europa League, by the way. So they beat Saint Etienne. That was July 31st. Never mind, that was in preseason. So Dortmund, Frankfurt, whereas they beat Fenerbahce 1-1, Antwerp 1-0 away, Olympiacos they beat 3-1 at home, they beat Olympiacos away 2-1, they drew against Antwerp at home, and they drew against Fenerbahce away. Now, next round, where is it? Europa League. They beat Real Betis over 2 legs, 3-2, Real Betis. Then they went into next round. They beat Barcelona over 2 legs. Yes, here it is. Eintracht Frankfurt with Glasner at the wheel beat Barcelona over 2 legs. Over 2 legs, 4-3. In semifinals, they beat West Ham 3-1. That was the year after West Ham won the Conference League, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then in the final, obviously, they beat Rangers. One thing I want to check. What was the lineup for Eintracht? Look at this lineup for Barcelona. Ter Stegen, Mingueza, Araujo, Garcia, Alba, Gavi, Busquets, Pedri, Dembele, Aubameyang, Torres. Here we go. Borre, Kamada, the same Kamada that is at Crystal Palace. Lindstrom, Kostic, Rode, Jakic, Knauf, Torre, Hinteregger, Ndika, who is at Roma right now, and Kevin Trapp. On the bench, Hasebe, Ache, Chandler, Hoge, Lemers, Da Costa, Bortok. You see, he beat this Barcelona. He beat Barcelona with that team. I think for me that says a lot, doesn't it? He beat Barcelona with that team. That is the nuts part. Lesnar would be cooking with the squad. Exactly. And likes to play 5 at the back at times. Exactly as well. Side note, Italy are winning 3-2, by the way. Gattuso is cooking. Pepe retired and we sold Ottavio this season. Oh, damn. Last year you lost Galeno. You lost Evan Nilsson. Now you lose. Obviously, you lost now Pepe and you sold Ottavio. It's kind of cooked for you, isn't it? But I think knowing Porto, they will sign some Brazilian no-names and Argentinian, Uruguayan no-names, and you will be back up there without shadow of a doubt very quickly. Would you take Messi at Arsenal at the moment? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Just because Mikel Arteta. If you mean great for the team, maybe, but also I wouldn't. I know we wouldn't finally get second in the Portuguese league. Italy 3-2 up. Yes. Big up Hendon. Have reservations about Glesner, but I like already said, a lot of managers currently would make much more sense than Arteta. Exactly. Exactly. The time, patience, and money Arteta was given, and Emery wasn't. It's unfair and disgusting. One game with 10 men within that one leg as well. Both games with 10 men, I think it was, wasn't it? Like he beat Barcelona with Eintracht. Basically he had a no-name squad against some of the biggest names in world football as well. That was a sustained campaign to get Emery sacked. Exactly. Emery didn't get the backing. He didn't get support from big part of the fan base. And on top of that, he didn't get any players he wanted. He wanted Fabinho from Monaco. He got Lucas Torreira, and Fabinho went to Liverpool. And we all saw what Fabinho did at Liverpool. He wanted Zaha. He got Pepe. And it was all over the place like that. Oh, Glasner would bring us the trophy for sure, given the same time and money, and probably it wouldn't be the COVID FA Cup and those McDonald's silver plates. Exactly. We sold Gonzalez to City as well. Exactly. You sold Nico Gonzalez. How is Porto's squad looking at the moment? Because I think Porto, no matter how you look at it, has a very, very, fuck's sake, very decent squad, whether you like it or not. Okay. This is for Terry Tibbs specifically, because I'm very curious about Porto. I'm usually looking the other teams and everything, so I just figure stuff out, because that's what I like to do, to be honest. Diego Costa is still there, which is good. Kivior low. Perez will be interesting to see. Bednarek, that's just curtains instantly. Moura, Zaidu, no. Zambo and not Zaidu, but Zanussi is not good. Fernandez is injured. This is a very shame. I think Martin Fernandez is one of the up-and-coming right-backs, arguably. I really like Martin Fernandez. I think Terry Tibbs might agree or disagree, but I really like Martin Fernandez. Pedro Lima, also a very good player. Rosario, Estaquio, the Canadian midfielder. Thomas Perez. Rodrigo Moura. This is one of those. That definitely in a few years will go to a big club. Rodrigo Moura is one of those that in a few years will go to big club. William Gomez, De Jong, obviously. Pepe is injured, unfortunately. Samo Marodion, we'll see how that goes. I think for me, William Gomez, Rodrigo Mora, and Martin Fernandez are one of those that definitely will be talked about in the transfer industry very, very soon, and very, very loudly, if I'm not mistaken. Would you take Emery would have won the league? Yeah, I think if Emery got the backing, 1 billion, 6 years, he definitely would. Samo has done pretty well for us when we signed Gabi Vega. Yeah. Could you imagine what Emery could do with 1 billion? Exactly. Emery would have won 2 of the 3 Prems. There's a big possibility. One league I want to watch is the Mexican-Brazilian leagues, but where it lives. Yeah, that for me is also a big issue. I really would love to watch Brazilian league, Mexican league, and also Argentinian league. No, Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, and all this stuff. But the difference is like 14, 15 hours, and I just cannot. I literally cannot do it. Like, I'm sorry, but I cannot. because when the games start, it's around 4 or 5 a.m. my time, and I just can't. Like I can't. I literally can't because yeah, it's too much for me personally. It's genuinely too much for me. Where is it? Where is it? Let me do this. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Moore and Martim are our young stars. Yeah, and Gomborges is also one on the rise. Exactly. You have the talent. If you develop it properly and everything, you will. Unfortunately, you will have to sell them. Like facing that already, which I think, knowing that you are a Porto fan, you have already seen this with Jackson and all these players, right? But you will get insane money for them. I think Mora could go for about 70 million at some point if you play your cards right, if the release clauses and everything. Martin will go for about 40, 50. Borges, I think he needs about 2 years or so, unless he genuinely has a breakout season right now. But he as well will go for about 60 million or something like that. It definitely will be good investment for you long term. Let's just put it that way. Let's just say it as it is. So, yeah, it will be very interesting to see. It will be very, very, very interesting to see how you bounce back from those times. But yeah, you definitely have some proper players. You have also a proper future and everything. So, time only will tell, of course. Have you seen the left wing from Flamengo, Luis Araujo? No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I haven't. Like Brazilian league, like it's for me, it's a big issue. Obviously, I watched World Cup, Club World Cup, then I saw some, but yeah, it's rough. Like literally, it's rough. The time difference really kills the vibe. Let's just put it that way. The time difference really is nothing exciting to say the least, but it is what it is, I guess. At the end of the day. But yeah, people, been live for over an hour and 12 minutes for now. Emery reached Europa League final in his first season. Yes, that Chelsea game should have been erased and forgotten, but I'm just saying, exactly. You're not like people say he was washed manager, but it's hard to say you're washed when you win 3 times back to back Europa League with Sevilla. Then you annihilate Arsenal. You beat, I think it was Man United in the final. In the Europa League, you get into Champions League final, and you basically push Liverpool to the maximum limit in the semi-finals of Champions League. Like that doesn't happen by accident. Emery is a very distinct cup manager, I would argue. It's a very big surprise he hasn't done it in Premier League yet. But in Europe, the cup manager, he's a very big name in those terms. But yeah, people, big up to you all. I think I'm going to end the stream here. So big up to you all for watching, for subbing, for liking, for commenting. I'm going to be heading off for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I much appreciate that. Like, it's actually insane that people actually tune in to watch my sorry ass. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, people, you have been amazing. Like the stream. Subscribe if you're new, if you haven't already. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. It is Tuesday tomorrow. Hope Tuesday treats you well too. And let's see what tomorrow brings. Peace.